Welcome back to another episode of Off-Road with the Abrams.
And on my right is James Abrams, and I am on his left as his co-host, John Abrams, and brother. I'm his brother as well.
You know, you and I think on the same wavelengths because when I was driving here, I thought, it's probably good to just introduce ourselves, even though, some of these shows don't really get out to people much beyond people that might come and see us at a show.
Grandparents, yeah.
However, just in case, we might as well. I'm James. Right. This is John.
I'm John.
This is Off-Road with the Abrams.
And we're brothers.
We are brothers, but we're also a country band.
That's right.
And we play music. So if anybody's confused as to why these two guys are sitting in a room talking to each other, it's because we play music. And, this is part of the whole thing that we are our creative outlet.
It's the whole deal. And right. James and I started doing this podcast. This is now episode 2 of season 3. And we started doing this during the pandemic because we always had these moments where on the road we'd be driving in our tour bus from city to city. And we both drive our own bus, and usually the other guy sits up front and accompanies the driver. And we just get telling each other stories and talking about stories from our past years on the road touring. And we thought, hey, this would be a good thing to do when we were off-road. And, of course, we were off the road for quite a while with pandemic. So
That's right.
And here we are, sitting in my living room.
Before we continue here, should we address the end of an era?
It's the end of an era, you guys. It's the end of an era. And James and I are just...
Before we came on the podcast, you had some interesting news. Right?
Well, yeah. So it's the end of an era, guys, and I just realized that Five Alive, the citrus drink, is not very common anymore.
Let me explain. I watch YouTube and Twitch and try to keep up with what the kids are doing these days, if I can say that. And often they'll have some fun, playful titles. So it's before anybody gets too intense.
Concerned.
Here. I saw. I think it was Carla. I'm sorry, I didn't have the stream chat up properly, and so I think I saw Carla saying hello. And so thanks for writing the chat. We appreciate when you guys write in the chat, or if you're on YouTube, liking the stream or the video. It really helps us. But we're just so excited to be back home because we did one episode. We did a recorded episode of Off-Road on the road, and we were in Philadelphia, John, and we got some Philly cheesesteaks.
We did. Oh,
we chatted about that.
Love that.
On Instagram, we posted some photos of the Philly cheesesteaks.
Pat's King of Steaks.
Yeah. And
the original.
I remembered the name in the last episode, and I felt pretty good about myself.
I had to watch the episode back to remember the name.
You watched it back? Okay. Anyways, so we got home. We had 14 shows in the U.S. All of them. It was just so much fun to be able to play in a bunch of different types of venues. We played outside for a lot of. There was a heat wave. We were in 100 plus degree heat, and the first show
humidity.
We were in Denver, and we were outside in the sun. And John, I think he almost passed out a couple times.
Twice, almost. Almost fell over twice.
And I was feeling for you. I'm surprised.
Well, I mean, I was also recovering. Like I had COVID before we went out on the tour, which was the first time that I had COVID for the last couple of years since COVID started that I know of. And so, for anybody who's had it, like it really, you have the virus part of it, and then you have this long burning fatigue. And I definitely had that when we got to Denver. I'd already been out of my quarantine period, or I should say isolation period. And then we got to Denver, and I was still wiped out, exhausted, and we played the show in 100-degree heat or whatever it was. And I did just about fall over on stage twice. But we made it through.
That's awesome, man.
So, no, yeah, not we don't want to be alarmist for anybody, but we just thought it was kind of funny. So I just had the thought today. I realized I have not seen or had a Five Alive citrus beverage in a very long time. Have you, James?
When you mentioned it, I actually didn't even remember the Five Alive.
So as a teenager, I used to drink Five Alive all the time. That was my choice, my vending machine choice, right?
Right.
And so I realized, okay, what's the deal with Five Alive? Like I just looked it up today when I was sitting upstairs after I was on the elliptical for half an hour, and
You got on the elliptical.
I did. I got
Now, how are you feeling?
I feel like I've been on the elliptical for half hour and haven't been forever.
That's good, man.
That's the first elliptical. Like, okay, that's the first real committed elliptical moment I've ever had. Let's be honest. I mean, I've definitely kind of dabbled on the elliptical at the gym. Like, you kind of go on for about 10 minutes and go, okay, I'm bored. But I put in my time, and I was pretty sweaty, and I realized that all those shows, the 14 shows, weren't enough to get me in shape for 30 minutes of the elliptical. So I'm going to do it every day. That's my plan, at least for a month.
That's
every day,
awesome.
see what happens. And maybe next month we can check in with that.
Oh, this is good. I see the multi-stream chat feature is working. We got Nico chatting. Hey, my dear friends, so happy this is back. Right on, Nico. We're so
Right on,
happy to
Nico.
hear from you. Thank you for writing in the chat, so we know that that's working properly. And I missed the chat. We did an
Chat was
episode, as I said, in Philly in our hotel room. I thought we would be able to start this podcast and do a few more on the road. We tried, and the internet wasn't stable enough, and I mentioned in the last episode, but there is, I'm going to look into a way, there's these kind of streaming backpacks that they have. They're pretty expensive, but you can do some live streaming stuff really wherever you are. They have a couple of cell phone connections, and they swap between the different connections if you lose connection to one of them. It's pretty crazy.
I forgot how bad a hotel internet could be.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
we tried, and it looked like a
This is
slideshow.
2022, right?
Looked like a
We've just come
slideshow.
through a pandemic where all of us had to be on the internet basically 24 hours a day in order to be able to stay connected with people, and yet internet in hotel rooms is still bad. I don't understand that. What is it about?
Why are you asking? I'm not a tech guy.
Well, I don't understand that. Like, can we not? Is that not something we can solve? It's that. I mean, there are bigger problems we have solved in life, but somehow
I think it's probably just there's so many people that are on at the same time using the same routers and stuff.
But I mean, think about that. That's solvable. It feels very solvable.
Okay,
in the
John.
middle of Philadelphia,
Well, you
or
solved
something.
that.
In the middle of Philadelphia or some big city. I mean, we're not. It's not like we're touring Alaska, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
we're in the middle of big cities, and I just can't figure it out. Anyway, I'm happy that we're on my internet here, and
Yeah, everything's
got some fiber
actually. I
action.
just realized we're not hooked in directly, and I got to fix that for next time.
Right.
But so hopefully everything seems to be working okay.
Right.
John, we have a trip to Spain coming up.
Yeah.
And
we do, yeah.
tell us about what's happening there, and
So-
what we're gonna try to do. We've got a day off in Barcelona.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
actually it's a whirlwind trip. Like, we're whipping over there. We're flying over on the 24th. We get there on the 25th. It's an overnight flight. And then we're playing at this awesome country rock festival in Celardú, Spain. So
Let's
if
see if I can pull it
anybody
up.
has ever seen, so I mean, we actually we out at the farm, for anybody who has followed our podcast over the past couple of years, you'll know, and even our Instagram, that our family, our parents, mom and dad, Brian and Tanya Abrams, have a rescue farm out in Joyceville, Ontario, and we've always had Great Pyrenees dogs out there, or variants of Great Pyrenees, looking after the animals in the yard. And we are finally going to the Pyrenees Mountains to play this show. We are literally in this beautiful little village or little town, city, whatever. It's actually quite a substantial town in. Yeah. Just look it up on Google, like the Google images. Salardu, Salardu, Spain. It's this gorgeous place in the mountains, right on the French border, and we're getting to play this incredible country rock festival, which we've heard so much about, in Celardú. So that's going to be our first time in Spain, actually, on the road. We've been able to play in Europe a number of different places, but we've never been to Spain before. And apparently one of the real features of this festival is that it's a big line dancing community. I think one of the coolest things about some of these European country and American
That's all
festivals,
I can find in the photos.
I know.
Oh, here's a cool photo.
Yeah, that's a really cool
There, yeah.
photo. It looks like
Pop this
so
up.
picturesque. But one of the cool things
There's a
about this
spot.
festival is that it's, for the most part,
I
a
found
big
some
line dancing gathering.
Line dancing.
Yeah, and line dancing is still huge in Europe. James and I experienced that in 2019, the summer of 2019, before the pandemic, when we played in Tours, France, at the American Tours Festival.
Right.
So basically, the American Tours Festival is this great big festival of to Europeans, American stuff, right? Like rodeo, muscle cars, souped up semi trucks, motorcycles,
Yeah.
country, rock music, the whole
Harleys.
thing. Harley Davidson's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and there was a line dancing troupe that had pre-choreographed a bunch of our original songs. So by the time we went up on stage, they actually had a roped off area where they line danced to our songs with a choreographed line dance. So line
That was
dancing
crazy.
culture is huge in Europe. Never knew that until we played in France, and then we've been able to be booked in Spain, and the line dancing culture is very strong there too. So I'm pretty excited for this.
I'm very
It's
excited.
gonna be awesome.
Thank you guys. There's some more folks writing in the chat here. We got
Debbie loves line dancing.
Debbie. Yeah.
Love
we got
that.
Shelly. We got Kayla Prosser. Right on.
Yeah,
We
right
got,
on, Kayla.
So yeah, Debbie says she
our
loves.
cousin Kayla. We went to school
Yeah,
together.
she said Debbie says she loves line dancing. Thanks,
That's
guys, for
awesome.
chatting, and appreciate you hopping in and saying hello. And so, anyways, yeah, we have that coming up. And
Did I
some
ever
stuff
tell
in the
you that I
fall.
got a C in line dancing in school? Did I ever tell you that?
No, what was it in elementary or?
Yeah, elementary school. It was in gym class, and I got a C. Grade.
Did you try though? Were you attempting and then it was just bad? You just were bad?
Well, I mean, I was attempting. It wasn't that we weren't okay. So it was line dancing in gym class. It was all the Shania Twain, by the way, who I
Oh, perfect.
now in retrospect have a massive appreciation for. James and I love blasting Shania on the tour bus.
Shania, yeah.
But
Great.
no,
There's a
I got
great
to see.
documentary. Shania.
Yeah. I
I
gotta
haven't
see that.
watched it yet.
I gotta see that.
So I can report back next week.
Yeah, I haven't watched. Well, let's watch that. We gotta watch that like sort of in our own homes and talk about it
Okay.
because I need to kind of get a better understanding of the whole story. But anyway, I got a C in gym class because of our line dancing group. It was me and a bunch of buddies. It was a unit in gym class.
You're just too
Believe it or
cool
not.
to do it, or what?
No, we just didn't get organized. Like we didn't plan a proper dance. We only learned 3 different moves in that section of class. And
Do you
and
remember?
none of us were coordinated. Of course, all the girls got A's in that because they were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Okay, we're gonna coordinate this dance," and we were terrible. I feel like I had beat because I was playing music at that time, but me and all the other guys, like it was a complete, absolute shambles mess, and it pulled my whole gym grade for the term or whatever it was down to a C just because of the line dancing escapade. So I'm sorry, Cellardew, but maybe I can redeem myself. Maybe that's the plan.
John, tell us about what's behind us here. This is a
James
book.
is done with my story, but
I am done. Let's behind us. This is a bookshelf
Yeah.
that you built
Yeah.
with Wayne Abrams,
That's
our
right.
grandfather.
our grandfather.
It's looking pretty good. I thought you were gonna paint it though.
It's not done. It's not, it's we're very close.
Yeah.
And yeah, so a year ago, it's been a year, but a year ago, Pop and I.
How come it's not painted?
Well, because it's not. We had to fill all the screw holes first. We got to do a number of things first before we paint it. So I set out to with Pop design and build a floor to ceiling library bookshelf here in our living room, and this is what we did. And we're really close. All we have to do is fill all the screw holes that you see, and then do some caulking up top. Install the lights, and then hang the doors. Which the doors are built now, so we just need to hang the doors because we got cupboards at the bottom here. And then we're gonna paint it and do up a rolling ladder as well. We're gonna do up a rolling ladder, and that'll be it. But it's taken a year. I mean, this is the kind of project it shouldn't take a year, but I'm actually really glad it has, because these like times with Pop are really precious, right? I just find getting together with him and drawing that out has been actually part of the whole experience. Pop is a great guitar builder, and we built a guitar together. If you can believe it, that's about almost 10 years ago that we did that project. So for me, getting to spend time with him and building,
That's hard to believe.
yeah,
10
that's
years
crazy.
ago.
Yeah. It's the guitar I play on stage.
Yeah, because I've mentioned it from stage for it feels like a little while, but it doesn't feel like 10 years.
Yeah, it's 9. I think it says 2013 inside the guitar, which is crazy.
I really can't believe that.
It's wild. Well, remember, like we were
but
talking
it
about.
took you a while to finish.
Yeah, it did, but I mean, I might have been done late 2013 or 2014 maybe. So 8 or 9. We're getting close to 10. I'm rounding up. I'm definitely rounding up for effect.
Well, it
Yeah.
is surreal, but it's
is,
nice that
yeah.
you guys have, had another project here and,
Yeah.
and helping you with the books. And, hopefully now that you have a bookcase, it'll mean that you'll actually read a book once in a while now.
I have been.
And,
I actually have been. I can't. James is not lying though. I have a problem in that in the past have always just put books down and then I don't pick them up again. Like I'll read a while and then I'll just put them down and I won't think about it. Do you find that? Are you pretty good at reading for pleasure, or do you have to be kind of on a deadline to read?
I've always enjoyed reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a book guy.
You're still a book guy.
Oh, a huge book
And
guy.
you finish books. You finish them. You're straight
book
through.
a day.
A book a day.
Yeah, book a day.
Amazing. All that time.
Yeah.
All that time. So, but it's nonfiction for you, right?
I do prefer nonfiction, and as a kid, I read some fantasy stuff, I guess, but it's mainly stuff that happened in life.
Yeah, I like the fiction myself. There's a ton of fiction back there. And
what's the one, John, with the animals that?
Wind in the Willows.
It's
That's the one?
it's basically a children's book.
Yeah, but
And
it's a golden
I'm just
era. Okay,
joking.
but it's a golden era.
John was
of-
telling me, he says, oh, I've been reading, James. I've been reading, and I goes, oh, cool. Tell me about what you've been reading. Oh, it's about these animals that live in a hill. I'm like, John, I'm pretty sure that's a children's book, but
yeah, totally. And it's literally one of my favorite books.
no, it's I remember. Did they make a movie about it?
Yeah, they've kind of made a few attempts. Not one really great definitive one though, I don't think. But they've had a few different ones.
But I recall that, and it's more of it's probably more like for young adult. It's a young adult book.
Well, no, so I actually
It has
did
serious-
study a little bit of children's
Yeah.
literature in undergrad.
Oh, look at you.
Look at me, yeah, look at that. No, I did, and I didn't read that in children's literature, but what I did learn was that there was a golden era. And speaking of end of an era, here's another one. There was a golden era of children's literature in and around the late 1800s, where there was a boom of books being written that were great for kids, but they were also really as much adult books as anything, you know. And
So it's kind of like
Peter
Marvel
Pan,
films. It's like
Peter
Marvel
Pan's a good
films.
example. Yeah. Well, Marvel films, yeah. Or Pixar. You know how
Pixar's great. Yeah.
Pixar is like
Speaking
not
of-
just a kids movie.
Speaking of, I have a really cool thing, 'cause every week I kind of bring some interesting things from the internet, and there's this video I can actually pull up of the way that they do, the way that they would zoom or give the zoom effect in Disney drawn animation films.
Yeah.
And it was actually crazy to see. I don't think it has
When that
audio,
era's
but
over. All the hand-drawn animation is
end
done.
of an era. End of
is
an era.
done at Disney, by the way. You won't see, I mean, unless they start it up again for nostalgic purposes, which is possible. The last animated Disney film with hand-drawn animation was The Princess and the Frog in 2009.
Wow. Okay. Now this should work on the stream.
Well, that's amazing.
Now
Wait,
if the
what's
video's not going,
I
hopefully it is.
recognize that scene. Is that Fox and the Hound? What is that? No, it's not.
I actually don't know. But look at this. I love those landscapes.
I feel like that maybe could be Beauty and the Beast. Look at that.
And just wait till you see the machine that they used
Whoa.
to split. So I don't think there's audio. So
This looks like the Jurassic Park info session, like in the
That was a
Jurassic Park
good-
movie.
that was a good scene.
You know?
So yeah, they have the camera from the top down in this machine. Look at this machine.
That's crazy.
I thought you'd be interested in it, John.
This is crazy. I haven't seen this before.
So it's like layers, and then it's
Yeah,
different
right,
layers,
right.
and then it looks like
Right.
you're zooming, on
and it
stuff.
looks three-dimensional. You're not just zooming in on a
Whoa.
picture. You've got
So that's
three
how they did
different-
that.
That's incredible.
So that's just a little thing that I found that fit with what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
I think it's such a lost art, though. You know,
yeah, it did work on the stream. Good.
the ability to draw every single frame like that and then make that. I just think I find that, I don't know about you, James, but hand-drawn animation transports me to a completely different place than the hyper-realism of Pixar animation. Like it takes
me
me.
too.
It's like jumping into
Yeah.
into a story
Yeah.
a little differently, a little better in certain ways. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you love reading children's books, so
Yeah, that's right.
that's what you like about it.
No, okay, listen, Wind in the
I'm
Willows,
proud of
you
you.
guys.
I'm
It's
proud of
not
you.
just a children's book.
That's
This
great.
book is phenomenal. It's one of my favorites.
What's that animated movie that we watched as kids that made me cry? It was like one of the only movies that made me cry. It was
Watership Down?
Watership Down.
Ooh, now that's a good. See, yeah, I've
I-
got.
Spoiler: there's some animals that die, right? Is that what happens?
yeah. Well, that is not a children's movie.
Okay.
That is not. That
Watership
great movie.
Down.
That is not a children's movie though.
Oh my goodness! It sounds
I've
like
got-
it
I've
sounds like
got-
a war movie.
I've got the other.
Doesn't it sound?
No, no,
It sounds
wait,
like
wait,
the
wait,
sequel
wait,
to
wait,
Saving Private Ryan.
the other book, the other
Watership
well-known book
Down.
written by the same author who wrote Watership Down is called. Where is it?
I can't believe
Richard Adams.
That terrified me as a
Richard
kid.
Adams. The other one, and this was an
you
animated
go.
film, which you and I have seen, not
Educational.
for kids. It's called The Plague Dogs.
Whoa! Let me see this.
The Plague Dogs.
Very good condition too.
Yeah. The
Where'd you get
like
this
an
one?
Original edition of The Plague Dogs. So this is the same author as Watership Down.
What's wrong with this? What's wrong with the?
Yeah,
one
so
dog?
I think that like this is all about animal testing and stuff. This book, it's
What?
hardcore. Like this author, so he wrote Watership
So is that
Down.
a bandage on the dog?
I think so. I haven't read this one yet.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, pretty cool though.
There's a fox on the back there.
No, and The Plague Dogs is an animated movie that is not for kids either. They did.
Well, I like your book selection, John. I'm glad that you got the bookcase going, and it's nice to feature it behind us. It's nice to feature it behind
I
us.
do. I really like it. It's what honestly the time spent on it has been worth it. It's been completely. It's taken me a year to collect all these books. By the way, like I didn't have these before, right?
Yep.
So it's completely. It's been just.
There's a book sale near me. Are you gonna go to that?
No,
Remember, I
was
sent
wasn't that
I sent
August
John a
13th?
text.
It was August 13th.
I sent John a text, and there's a book sale, so you got to go down and get some some new books.
Yeah, I should collect. I like the used hardcovers. Clearly, this is my jam.
I would like to just show a little picture from the road. We have a photo. I won't give too much away before I pull it up here.
Picture from the road.
Um,
Oh yes, this was amazing.
This was a show in Cincinnati, the last show on the tour, and if you can see it, it's James up on a big jumbotron. John's
Wow.
covered by the tree, just the way I like
Just
it.
the way James likes it.
Right in the foreground with the name. People might assume that my name is the Abrams.
Yeah.
And
My
name is
the one and only Abrams.
first name the, last name Abrams. I had my Bass Pro hat on that day.
That's right.
For the Fifth Third Bank. What a jumbotron.
This was actually a really cool moment. I loved the fact that.
No, I got a picture of John. Don't worry. Here he is. There he is on the
Oh,
jumbotron.
look at that! You're
Oh,
so
look at
considerate.
him.
You're
Look
so
at him.
considerate. This guy.
Yeah.
No, we had a really great time. This was a really nice way to finish the tour, I thought. Being able to play in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Right downtown in the city square. Really awesome crowd, and to be able to be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and have our show played on the downtown jumbotron on Fifth Third Bank building.
I'm a big Fifth Third Bank fan, by the way.
Wait, really?
Yeah, one of my favorite banks. Definitely.
Just the name, or
Yeah. Definitely, it's a lot better than the Third Bank.
the
The Fifth
The
Third
Fifth Third
Bank,
is the
much
best.
better.
the
Don't go to the
yeah.
Third Bank.
Or the fourth.
Or the
fourth
Third
Third Bank's no good.
No, but
No,
it,
but
it
that was awesome. That was
it
really
was a
cool.
great honestly such a great stage there, and there was two other really awesome country acts that were on as well, and really great songwriters, and
Yeah.
it was such a cool night.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
honestly, a lot of great country music fans there, which it's cool to see in Cincinnati, right downtown.
Yeah, totally.
Seeing so many people that seem to be like country fans, like they like country
Absolutely.
music.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've certainly played Ohio a few times. We played in Kent, Ohio the night before. We've done Cleveland, but that was our first time we'd ever played in Cincinnati. And and that was the great thing about this tour. We were in a number of different cities we hadn't played before. Chattanooga, Tennessee. All the times we played in Tennessee since we were little kids with the family band. It's we've never been through Chattanooga, so that was a new one for us. And We got to go back to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is really cool. We used to play Music Fest, which is an awesome festival in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And this was a show of ours at the Steel Stacks beforehand. So there were some really neat places we returned to and some brand new spots that we'd never been to before. So.
Now, John, your hair has been getting out of control, and
Yes.
so I was trying to think of maybe some new styles for you. So I found this photo of a potential new style for you.
Wow.
So I was
It's like-
thinking it's kind of like the
it's like-
crescent moon
That's
style.
what's going on here, clearly.
I'm
really impressed.
I found this one online. I'm thinking that possibly this could be a good change up for you. And no, so I had information on this. This was actually a style from the late 1800s of some. I think
No.
yeah.
No,
Yes.
no.
This
No
was
way.
a serious style.
I've never seen that before. There's no way.
Yeah,
Does
that's what
anyone
it said.
believe that?
It said that this was a serious style from I don't know from why, but it was from the late 1800s. Sorry, I forgot my notes on that one, but you guys can look up the crescent moon cut and find that
That
one
is
out.
something. That is something.
So what do you think? You do that or no?
Maybe.
I think you have long enough
think so?
beard and hair that you could pull that off.
I've got long enough hair, but he's kind of, you got to have short in the back, long in the front. That's the opposite of the mullet, right? Party in the back and business in the front. Like that's party on the front and, keep it short in the back. So
Oh my goodness.
that like I'm gonna have to
Debbie
really-
thought it was funny, so that's good. Debbie's having a good time.
That's funny. Thought what was funny.
And thank you for your other
Oh, the
comment
crescent
too.
moon.
We appreciate the encouragement, Debbie.
Yeah,
And
thank you,
Nico is wondering if we had seen The Chosen. I've heard of it, but
Oh,
no, I have
yeah.
not watched it yet. I have not watched it yet.
Oh man. Yeah. That's awesome.
Here's a little something else for the end. Summer's coming to an end here. I hate to break it to people. School's right around the corner.
I try not to think about it.
I
don't know.
actually really
You're
love
a fall
fall.
guy though. You love fall.
We talked about this stuff in the last episode, so we
know.
don't need to repeat ourselves. But I'm seeing the back to school commercials. Do you remember that one Staples one?
Yeah.
That one Staples
Oh,
commercial?
No. Which one?
There was. We got to find it for next week. But there was a Staples commercial that was, I think it was the parents. The kids were like really sad, and then the parents were like cheering and stuff. And I think they had to take it off the.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh yeah.
It's like the parents were excited.
They're so happy the kids are going back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
on a different note,
That's interesting.
a big part of summer is sunflowers, right? And so I found this crazy spot.
That's amazing. Look at this.
Oh, it's not pulling up. There we go. It should work now. I think it was in. I think they said that this was a market somewhere in China. I believe.
That's incredible.
But absolutely stunning. We'll watch that again. Absolutely stunning. There's sunflowers everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to remember to bring my facts. I've just got random things that I've saved, and I don't really have my facts. I've been out of practice from the.
No, this
last
is
couple
good.
seasons.
This is good. I feel like
Yeah.
our production value is already up. I know that we've always got to talk about our production value.
Yeah.
to
Let's
some
so
degree.
let's
That's a
let's,
theme.
let's
That's
make it
become a
a. Let's make it a.
Here we go.
Let's make it a rule not to talk about production value. As we're getting better.
As we're getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
do you
start.
want me to talk about it right now?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, let's
No, I
not
do
talk
not.
about our production value.
So,
definitely better than the first season.
But that made remind if Mom's watching, that reminded me of BAMS. We refer to Nan and BAMS, but our great grandparents, which were very close to us, and we mentioned them on stage,
Yes.
on the road. They lived across the road from us and got us our first violins.
Yep.
We called them Nana and Bamps, our great grandparents, and Bamps. He loved sunflowers, and so
Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. He did, and
So,
he
I'll
planted
show
them
it
out
to
front
Mom.
of the farm.
I'll show it to
and
Mom.
That was, you know what? That's a good memory.
Yeah,
Thank you for
so there you
bringing
go.
that back. Yeah, Bamps is really big into sunflowers. He was actually a great gardener himself.
Yeah.
There's some great pictures.
Well,
of
Nana too, working
Nana
on the
too,
market
certainly.
and selling. She grew all kinds of vegetables and then
Yeah.
sold them on the Kingston market
Yeah.
for decades, right until
64 years.
90-something years old.
64 years on the market. In Kingston.
60. Wow, that was even
64, yeah.
more than
Isn't
I
that crazy?
recalled. So, anyways, I thought he would like the sunflowers, and
That's great.
I feel I'm sorry, guys, that I forgot my notes on all this stuff, but I'm trying to remember.
No, that's good.
And
So I just to return here back a little bit. So I don't know that I fully
Oh, yeah, I
closed
got
off
some more
my
good stuff.
my Five Alive conversation.
Yeah, end of an era.
End of an era.
That's
So
the theme.
so Five Alive is still available in Canada in limited quantities, but it has not been made in the United States since the 90s. I never knew that. I thought Five Alive was a thing for everywhere. And it was before the 90s. And very sugary fruit citrus beverage. And I drank it all the time before we now kind of realized that sugar is like, I mean, we always knew sugar was
Refined
great
sugar,
for you,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
refined sugar's really not good for you. But I found out just today that it's basically, sort of just dwindling over time. And I don't know, does anybody else like Five Alive? Does anybody else talk about it?
No one has
So-
said in the chat if they even know what Five Alive is, so I don't
Yeah.
think I can pull up a picture
We used
here.
to get it more frequently, and it was more well advertised. And I worry that it's going to be gone forever, and so I need to stock up. I think I need to stock up on some Five Alive. See this stuff. Does everybody knows Five Alive, right? This is not really the kind of drink that's in vogue anymore, though. It's just loaded with sugar. It's like Sunny D, right? We used to drink Sunny D on camping trips, and I think it's more sugar than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Does not have nutritional value.
But
I remember.
this is the opposite of like the organic fruit juice movement.
I remember Dad having some Nutella one time, and he.
That was great. I totally remember this.
I said, "Oh, that's good, Dad. Treating yourself, getting some Nutella." And he says, "James, it's what was the word he
He
used?
said it's nutritious.
Nutritious.
It's nourishing.
It's
No,
nourishing.
It's nourishing. He said it's nourishing, and
I said,
First-
sorry, excuse me. What do you mean it's nourishing?
it's just
It's
chocolate
comfort
spread.
food? He's like, no,
No,
nourishing. He
no,
meant
it's-
it in a
It's
nutritional
like,
way.
It's a nourishing option. Like Dad had this
I
idea
loved
that
I loved
Nutella, and also, are you a Nutella guy or a Nutella guy? Because it's like I think it's Nutella.
Debbie says Nutella, I think.
Like you said Nutella.
No, I didn't.
You did. I promise you. Go back.
Okay.
He says Nutella.
I think it's
But
Nutella.
It's Nutella because
Yeah.
it's nuts. It's hazelnuts.
Debbie
right?
says, I actually I quite like Nutella, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
I've seen Five Alive in a plastic bottle the other day. The top and bottom was wider at the top and bottom.
You can
You
hold
could
it better.
hold it better.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay,
So they
I'm
changed.
going to get some.
So it isn't the end of an era then. Like it's
Well,
around.
It's around in Canada.
John was
not-
telling me it was
it's around
dying.
in Canada. I don't think it's anywhere else.
Speaking of the end of
So-
an era, I found, John, something that's right up our alley. I think I referenced this in the last episode, but I found a photo of.
Glasses. I can't see that.
So
Whoa.
react. So a fully intact vintage Burger King was found behind a wall at the Concord Mall in Wilmington, Delaware.
Whoa, that was
This
just down the road from where
photo
we were.
Was snapped. Okay, so there's the credit for Jonathan. Nice photo. So we were talking about dead malls. We've done this a few times, but doesn't this give you some nostalgia for?
Whoa,
So it was totally untouched, and
that is
it's,
so
they
cool.
just boarded it up, and it's just is sitting there
They should reopen it in that vintage
the way
vibe.
it was.
That'd
Yeah.
be great. No, so Wilmington, Delaware. That is literally. It was like 20 minutes down the road from where we did our last episode.
I
you
had
know
never
that?
been to.
It was like really,
Oh, great!
Really
I had
close.
never been to Delaware, and I'm glad that I drove through.
Yeah.
We hadn't been there, right?
Yeah. We've driven through, but yeah, no,
We never performed there.
No, we haven't played in Delaware before, but driven through Connecticut, Delaware, haven't played in either. But we did play. Really, we did get to do a number of different places on this trip. I'm trying to think. Didn't we go through? We played in a different state. I think we did play in one different state than we played in the past this time. Maybe not. Different cities than we played in the past. But
Yep.
But this was a really. I know I've said it from stage, but it really felt redemptive in a way to get back on the road.
I think Long Island maybe. Had we played in
Oh
Long
no,
Island?
we hadn't played Long Island.
That's what it was.
And
Man,
but
it's
I mean, it's
beautiful
still
out
it's New York State, but we hadn't played Long Island, which in and of itself is kind of like its own place.
And it was cool because actually our mom lived there for a little bit, right, in Long
Yeah.
Island,
yeah,
and so that was
she was really little.
that was cool to see. I really didn't know what it was like there, and that was part of. She was in California and there and around here where we live in Canada, And but so seeing Long Island, man, it's pretty nice out there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this stage, particularly too, the Chapin Rainbow Stage in Huntington, New York, which is on Long Island, in and of itself is a pretty special stage. Like, this is the commemorative, I believe it was built for the 30th anniversary, 30 years after Harry Chapin, the great songwriter in America, great folk Americana songwriter, after he passed away. The Chapin stage 30 years later was built in his memory. And it was kind of perfect because we actually, one thing that was special about this trip, we've worked with different child organizations over the past, child development organizations who try and lift families out of poverty in different parts of the world. It's something that we've always done. After our great-grandparents passed away, after Nana passed away, it's one of the things that we promised ourselves that we would do to try and carry on the legacy that she left us, and that was the idea that music can be healing. And it's something that she said, and I think we've talked about that story before, certainly on stage, but we can talk about that a little more in depth later. But that's one thing that James and I really feel about music in general, especially after the pandemic, is that it's very healing for people, and healing for us too, just to be back at it. And so we, on this tour, worked with Food for the Hungry, really great organization who do great work in communities all over the world, helping families lift out of poverty, villages lift out of poverty, and through child sponsorships, they really do lift entire villages and help lift entire villages out of poverty by creating sustainable ways to keep that village going. And then they leave, and the village is thriving. And we've seen it happen. It's really amazing. So the cool tie-in with the Chapin Rainbow Stage is that Harry Chapin was really quite an advocate and a huge sort of a proponent of trying to end hunger, especially for children, and that was kind of special that we were able to bring Food for the Hungry out on the road, and particularly at that show, be able to try and get a few children sponsored, and a few children were sponsored that night, which was really cool from stage.
Yeah, it was in a nice park there too, and
it was lovely.
There was some ponds and stuff. And
yeah, no, so good.
So that was kind of earlier on the tour, though, was it not?
Yeah, like that was it was midway through, but it kind of felt early because the last 2 weeks were slam packed. Like James and I, we had 6
I think there was
shows
six nights in a row, and
Yeah.
yeah. So Glenn says same with Fruitopia, gone from the U.S. for
Fruitopia.
years. Always stock up on. Always stocked. He would stock it
Right.
up, or they
Is
would stock it
Fruitopia
up
still
on Canada
going in
trips.
Canada though? Glenn, do you know if can you tell me if Fruitopia is still going in Canada? That was a drink of choice for me too.
I'll just Google it.
We have to find out.
Yeah.
We must know.
Yeah, Fruitopia was.
Now talk about vintage Burger King. That is an end of an era right there. That is, but
oh,
that's all back in.
We're not sharing that currently.
Oh well, but
Yeah.
we were sharing it.
Yeah, there'll be a yellow thing when.
Oh, these are
yeah,
things
yeah.
I don't know.
See,
James
Fruitopia.
runs the tech for this thing, thankfully. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a podcast because if it were up to me, I'd
Fruitopia.
fail at it. That's okay.
Wait, can you still get Fruitopia? While still available in Canada and Australia as a juice brand, in 2003, Fruitopia was phased out in
United
most
States, so it's
of the
still
United
going
States,
in Canada.
where it had
Wow.
struggled for several years.
Wow.
So
What is
sad.
it about Canada and Australia? They just keep trucking these drinks. What does that say? I don't know. That's
my
funny.
goodness. Anyways, this was a bit of a heartwarming thing. Found this one.
Oh, I will say the vibe of the room here is very cozy with the
I like it.
books.
So here, it says this guy just comes in. Sorry, let's
Oh
go
my
back.
goodness. Well,
Have you seen
Dad-
this video? This guy comes in. Okay,
What?
this guy just comes in and hangs out with my grandma. Okay, every so often.
That is amazing.
We think it's my grandpa because, why wouldn't it be now as a daily visitor? Sorry,
Oh my goodness.
my 98-year-old grandmother now, and he passed away, the grandfather. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, that is so sweet.
And every time he sees her, he just starts talking.
No way.
So there you go. Maybe it's a sign,
Oh.
man. Isn't that heartwarming, John?
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I love owls. Our
Brighten your
dad
day a
loves
little bit.
Our dad loves owls. We We saw one just a year ago, and actually I had an owl fly right at my face one time, and it was actually amazing. It was really cool. But yeah, I was in the woods, and it literally it was so early in the
Owls can
morning,
be
and it
scary.
just
I
dove.
don't know if I want to go down this route, but I watched this documentary.
It wasn't attacking me. It didn't see me there. Like I was.
I know, but it
so
protects.
still, and it just
Oh.
it flew. No, it
Well-
wasn't protecting the nest. It did. I was sitting up in a tree
I watched
stand.
this documentary called The Staircase. Okay.
Okay.
And it's about, sadly, this lady that passed away. They had a whole court case and stuff about how she passed away falling down the stairs. But anyways, one of the main theories now is that there was she was putting out decorations. This was what the second season. I can't remember exactly how but the more recent theory is that she was putting out decorations for Christmas and she was attacked by an owl. That was one of the theories.
Oh my goodness.
There was also other sort of more sinister theories. But anyways, yeah. But the fact that that's even possible that an owl could be defending its territory and then
didn't know that.
lead to something that crazy. Oh my
Wow.
goodness. So John, be careful.
Well, it was actually.
I
so
do like
was,
owls though.
I was up in a tree, and I had camouflage on, and literally this owl. It was really early in the morning, and my guess is during the rest of the year, the owl had been perching on the seat, like up in the tree that I was in, right? And literally, this huge, gorgeous owl just flies right at it because I'm sitting very still and very quiet. This gorgeous owl just flies straight at the seat and the little railing that sort of holds the seat together, and it saw me at the last minute. Like it literally saw me at the last minute. It was, I kid you not, James, I kid you not, it was like 4 feet from my face when it finally saw me because I kind of flinched.
That's terrifying.
But I'd never seen one that close, and it was full wingspan, and then it saw me, and it like course corrected really fast and like flew over my head basically. And it all kind of seemed like it happened in slow motion, but I've never seen an owl that close, and they are a magnificent creature. It's so cool. I'm serious. They're magnificent. They are. Come on.
You're kind of a bird guy, though, eh? Because you love that shirt.
I
you
do.
wear it probably more often than you should.
Probably more often.
And
I should clean it more often.
And here you are talking about owls.
These are crows, though. I think. There's various birds on here, but I do like birds. I have a bird feeder too. But it's
we gotta
empty.
get some footage.
It's empty.
Oh.
Because we have a blackbird and squirrel problem in the backyard, and
It'd be great if we just had a camera of like a bird cam just on the pod all the time, so that you can just watch the birds.
Well, how did we not even connect the fact that we were looking at the owl to Petey the censorship owl that we?
Oh yeah, where is he?
He's upstairs.
Okay, which room?
No, I'll go. I know exactly where he is. It's hard to tell you where he is.
We need him in the show.
Okay,
we need
I'll
him
go
now that we're doing the show again.
We got to do this.
So, anyways, Debbie says, when you listen to an owl, our friend says they say, "Who cooks for you?" Listen next time. Oh, I see. So the way that when they make a sound, that's what it sounds like. Interesting. All right. Okay, Debbie. All right, I'll listen for that next time. Now we got to get the. This guy was this decoy that we had in one of our. I think we had him in both the first and second season of Off-Road. Did you find him? There we go. You got to have him in the back. Alex is gonna hate that. Are you gonna have to remove him and then replace him every time because you can't keep him in your living room here?
Well, there he goes. That's awesome. I love that.
I bet you Alex won't want you to keep him in here.
I don't know.
I don't think she likes him.
He really stares hard. Where was Petey when I was talking about the Plague Dogs movie? I'm sorry about that, by the way. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, Petey, we need him in the back. But he does stare. He's got an intense stare. Like look at that owl.
Well,
can you imagine that owl?
He's keeping everybody honest out there. He's staring right at you, and he's making sure everybody's behaving out there. What's happening.
But that's literally what he looked like. The owl had these big, giant yellow eyes, and then anyway, it was amazing. It was
Did
very
this
cool.
story actually happen? Is this a real story?
I tell you right now, I know exactly. It was last fall. I'm telling you right now. It happened at
Was
about
anybody with you?
like not in the seat.
Was there any witnesses?
No, I was the witness. It was just me and this owl.
Interesting.
Nice, James. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Use that next
Telling
time.
you it happened.
Next time you get questioned, by authorities, say,
Yeah.
"I am the witness."
Yeah. Are there any witnesses? No, I am the witness.
Yes, there
Yes,
are
there's-
witnesses. I am
I
the
saw it.
witness.
Yes. It
That's-
was my
I like
eyes.
that tactic. Okay,
Yeah.
so
there's two
there's,
witnesses. This eye and that eye. Yeah.
Oh, good one. Good one. But so I'm glad that he's back part of the show, and you're kind of blocking him, but we'll get it sorted out. It's just good to keep.
Just kind of pokes in and out.
He's the mascot of the show.
Yeah, I like
He
that.
was on the first season. He's it's a decoy, right, to scare away other birds.
I
What's his
think it's
purpose?
actually meant for pigeons, to keep pigeons away from
Keep
barns.
the pigeons
stuff.
away.
But in my
Speaking of
experience, the
pigeons-
pigeons don't really care.
We
Like at the farm, they're back.
I got married since the last.
Speaking of pigeons, I got married.
Oh yeah, I'm a pigeon.
What a segue.
I'm
Okay.
What person would marry a pigeon like me is
Right.
basically the segue.
Yeah.
No, so there was this tower at the place that I got married. We were
Right.
married in France, and
Yeah,
it was
it's a
near there's
beautiful
a chapel, and
place,
there was anyways,
Yeah.
it was a thing. But anyways, there was this place where they would keep pigeons because there was a family that lived at this place.
That's right.
We rented.
That's right. Yeah.
And I wish we had a picture, but I don't. But it's this tower lined with pigeonholes, and they would keep pigeons, and I think they were to eat. They weren't for messenger pigeons, but it was pretty
so
cool.
they
man.
it was just pigeons to eat, like keeping chickens.
Yeah, but it was
Wow.
like really methodical.
I actually didn't know that.
There was like all these holes in the wall of this tower where the pigeons could make nests and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
and
they're just there. It was like a
yeah,
a
there
grid
was
of
like
holes.
hundreds,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
so
and they've
you
converted
just
the thing into a loft bedroom, and it's really like it's
Yeah.
all been redone. And
like now, obviously,
There's no
at least
pigeons there.
in North America, we would never think about that as a food source, but holy smokes, they had
well, I
hundreds.
mean, a lot of people do eat pigeons. Like a lot of
in
cult-
Canada.
Well, yeah,
Well, no,
yeah,
I
culturally,
understand
yeah, but
people
in
do.
Canada, so yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Like
Well-
European cultures, Middle Eastern cultures.
No
and-
pigeon hate. No pigeon hate.
And honestly, no pigeon hate.
although
I mean,
are
you're not
they
eating
protected?
This, no,
They're not
listen,
protected.
No, they're definitely not protected. No, but honestly, you don't eat the city.
Let's protect the pigeons.
Right, but you don't. I think they're protected in London.
England.
Is that what you're thinking of?
I've heard
Yeah.
of some
I think
pigeon protection.
that is true though, right? That's not some urban legend. Like that's true. They are protected in London.
I think so. I think
should
I
look
wouldn't
that
have
up.
just brought that up.
But they're not protected here. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. And then the other thing is, people aren't when they do eat pigeons. They're not eating the garbage-eating pigeons you
Mm.
see in the city. Like they're
well, we
eating.
should protect them. Let's get.
We should get a
See, I'm
pigeon
gonna.
protector.
Mom is gonna hear about this, and she's gonna make us uniforms. We're gonna be pigeon protection.
pigeon protection.
And we're gonna have to go out
Yeah.
for a couple hours a week
yeah. And do what?
and protect pigeons.
which involves
That'd be a great outfit, though.
which involves
Just it has like some sort of a formal crest.
talk
says
about
pigeon protection.
talk about organizations that nobody would care about. That literally nobody would contribute to.
No,
oh yeah,
no.
would you donate to pigeon
No, it's a
protection?
nonprofit
Yeah.
for sure. Well, I guess obviously.
No, it's not even a
No, it's not even a nonprofit. It's not even a.
Yeah, it's not even-
something that would be able to even operate as a
No,
nonprofit.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically add it to the list of organizations I don't think very many people would actually contribute
No.
money to.
No, unoffensive though.
Yeah. Unoffensive.
Unoffensive.
There are very many pigeons. They're one of the
Anyways.
most common birds on the planet. They need very little intervention. Very little intervention.
But no. So this tower was cool, and
It was cool.
was
It was awesome.
just talking of pigeons reminded me of that. There was a lot of value in pigeons, but you just see them all over the place now.
Carrier pigeons.
And obviously they're super smart. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But
They are super smart. They're
so yeah, I got married
very-
as well. There was a pigeon tower, but I was
but
also
you were
I
also
got married.
Yeah. James,
So that was
finally after bumping the wedding,
Debbie
4
says
times,
congratulations, thank you.
James and Kyla finally tied the knot. They were able to tie the knot back in April.
Yeah.
Very proud
that
of you,
was
buddy.
great.
Very proud
Kept
of
it pretty low key, I think we didn't end up posting. I think we intended to post one. We should, post one photo or something at some
you. Well,
point.
listen,
Sometimes if you're posting about stuff and it can take you out of the moment. So
that's fair.
you know,
And I honestly, either
I
way,
organized the music.
and I should say this. It's worthwhile saying it. I do respect that because we are kind of always in a bit of a Instagram fishbowl living in the career that we are, and it's sometimes it's nice just to go. Well, here's what we did. Alex and I didn't post pictures even on our own personal
It's
stuff.
not even just. It's not for me. It's not like. If that's not necessarily for me as much. It's just often it'll just take. Even though, like, listen,
Does take you out of home.
there's a few people that look at our photos once in a while, but
No, it's true.
but
It's true.
yeah, but it's really just the fact that it's brain power thinking about, oh, I got to take a photo for this and whatever. It
I
takes
agree.
me out of like, oh, I want to make sure that I'm enjoying.
The other thing that I
Yeah.
like doing too that we've kind of lost, it is an end of this era in many ways, is that we've lost that thing where you go on a trip, you take a pile of photos, you come back with those photos, and then you get together with people, or
True,
the next
there's
time
a
you get together with
story.
people, and then you sit there and you go through the pictures together and show them your trip and actually have a community with somebody. Like, that's something we've kind of lost, right? People used to take photos, even during digital photo era. Like, I'm not just talking about coming back with a bunch of Kodaks, which you guys did. You guys did the Kodak cameras, which was or like the disposables.
And that's why
But
we like.
we lost that art.
And that's why we'd like to formally announce our sponsorship with Black's cameras.
Yes.
We are all about
The
developing
Eastman
photos.
Kodak Company.
We are all about the development of photos and paying
Right.
paying money to get your photos
That's right.
developed,
Get
because
them
there's
printed.
intrinsic value to having a physical photo.
Yeah.
And we're very
It's like the Bob Barker, get your photos printed, people.
No, I agree though. I think that looking at you can still do it on your phone and put it up on your TV and stuff, but
Yeah.
but
like,
it's a conversation thing. It's like something to do with people.
But do you
I agree.
remember? I mean, people used to actually have slide machines.
Oh, I
and they'd
know.
walk-
I've done it once.
We did it once with Uncle Jim and
yeah,
Aunt Rose.
it was beautiful. It was an event.
But even
it was
still,
like
just going through the photos on like on an app or something like that on your TV
I know it's way different.
with your friends or something it's a nice kind of way to do it.
yeah, I just
I
think
don't know.
people don't really
It's a
think
cool
about.
tradition.
They don't really. Unfortunately, yeah. I don't even know if I should say unfortunately, but just the way that it is, like the value of one photo is because you can just take.
Oh, that's true.
You can take a billion photos
true.
with all the space that you have. So the value of one photo is like not that
Well,
much.
let's put it this way.
Com-
When
relatively.
well, it's like some of the most special photos we have from childhood are sitting in photo albums on a shelf at Mom and Dad's place
yeah,
at the farm.
yeah.
Right? And I have thousands upon thousands of photos since then. I don't look at those ones. We look at the ones in the albums.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I
That's
don't
what
go
I'm
back
saying.
through my phone really. Sometimes.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, we are. We agree.
Yeah.
We agree. Oh, do you? Folks out
Diane says, congratulations, James, on your wedding. Thank you. Debbie,
Right.
Congratulations. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. And it was really enjoyable, and I had
It was beautiful.
it was
Just
a
a beautiful day.
close family,
Yeah,
and
it was nice.
I was thankful that people could go because it had to be delayed a few times during COVID, and it's a lot. It was already a lot to travel somewhere, and post COVID, and then with all the other stuff with airports and whatever, it was
Oh yeah.
it was a lot to ask people to come. So the people that did come,
Yep.
very very
Absolutely.
thankful,
Absolutely.
and I am glad that I remembered to mention that at some point here.
You're married.
Yeah. So I just in the last few minutes, John, we've got here. I just wanna double check that you're sure you don't think that you will do this hairstyle, like the crescent moon. You're not gonna do the crescent moon.
It would require me cutting my hair like my long hair.
Could we maybe
it's
for the
not
next
long. It's not a long hairstyle. It's like a short hair with long on the front. It's like a long bang style. You know what that reminds me of, though?
I would love to try it just with a hairspray or something.
No. Look up early 2000s hair flip.
Oh yeah, we'll do the hair flip.
No, just look up early 2000s hair flip, and we are basically it's a version of this. We could do it. No.
That's all.
Early 2000s.
women. Although
hair
that I do remember this style.
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Early 2000s hair cowlick men.
It's the one.
Do that. Get hair cowlick men. Yes. Yeah, we're getting there.
Which one?
Oh,
No.
no. Man, you know what?
It's
Yeah,
just
okay,
the
does
front.
anybody
It's the
remember
front one.
when?
Well,
yeah,
here's
that's pretty
2000s.
close.
It's kind of close to you. Should I
but
show
it's
this
not,
one?
No, yeah, I mean, we can show it. That's from Malcolm in the Middle, right?
Yeah,
No, it's the thing
this,
where
it's the
you-
one
Where you
yeah,
have the
with
hair
spiky.
gel, it's all down flat, and then the front had like the wave, the spiky hair wave on the front. Remember? And then you put your baseball cap right down on top of the hair spiky wave. And it was like me in circuit
It
grade
was
6.
such a good look, man.
It was a look, and every boy, at least in our school, had it. And that's what that is, except you add the beard. right?
Yeah. Well,
Kinda.
it's not up on the screen anymore, but
That's
it
the crescent moon.
I loved finding that. I thought,
That was
holy
amazing.
smokes. It
If I do cut my hair, I should leave it long in the front for like a day and do it.
this one was kind of a funny little thing. It's when you're running low on space, but your pup gives your computer a megabyte.
Yeah.
That's a little computer inside thing.
Nice. That's good. I
You
like
know.
that. It's a real knee slapper.
Megabyte, gigabyte, you know.
It's a knee slapper.
So I that one I had just thrown to the end in case we had time, and so
Yeah.
it was not the best of
Very
the
nice. Very
of
nice.
the stuff, but you know,
So
and
my
we
book-
like animal stuff. So.
Yeah, we do. My bookcase is made out of poplar for the most part, and sorry, just
Poplar. Is it
no,
actually?
it was kind of a joke to jump back that far, but anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is. It's actually the front face is made of poplar, and then it's Baltic birch plywood, which is very high grade cabinet plywood.
Okay.
And that's what I use for wood. Oh, there's a mahogany back
I'm
to it.
proud of you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It feels good. It's cozy.
Mahogany back.
It's a-
But we don't use that for guitars too, mahogany?
Yeah, my guitar that I built with Pop is made out of mahogany, so it's kind of nice that it's just there's a bit of tie in there.
Mm-hmm.
The back that you see on the back. Now it's all gonna get painted, so it won't matter.
Was there anything when you came home from tour around the house that was really out of sorts? Was your grass good?
No, I needed to cut the grass. Yeah, no, but for the most part, no. Alex
She did all right?
looked after the house very well, and
Okay. You can
and,
let me know though
yeah,
if there
no,
was something that
no,
wasn't
no.
quite.
I mean, given the fact that I was gone and half the help was gone, yeah, no, she was amazing.
That's
but-
awesome.
But the grass was long. She called me ahead though to tell me. She said, "Listen, just so you know, the grass is long,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's gonna need to get." So I cut it.
No, it's
happily,
a lot,
actually.
man. It's a lot to.
I'm listening to Moby
upkeep
Dick on
stuff.
audiobook right now. Moby Dick right now.
Yeah.
Great book. And there's
We got
Thor.
a 4.
There's Thor.
Is he gonna come on
My
camera?
German Shepherd. He's not. I don't think he's coming on camera, but he's just come back from his run.
Debbie says beautiful bookcase.
Thanks, Debbie.
James
Appreciate
C.
that.
McCall. Hey guys, it's been a while.
Hey. Yeah,
I've
James.
not got my hair cut in 6 months. Good for you, James.
Man, it's good to see you,
Keep
man.
it going strong.
That's awesome.
Maybe the next time I see you, you'll have the crescent moon.
The crescent moon. It is so nice to be back
Thank you so
on
much,
the
guys.
podcast with you guys. We know it's been a while since the last season, but we kind of wanted to wait for the third season to get back on the road touring, so we can kind of do on-road, off-road stuff whenever we're out. So we'll be doing some more of that.
Thank
Coming
you
up.
guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with us again here on another episode of Off Road with the Abrams. We will catch you next week, and thanks for writing in the chat and for all the things that you guys, keep us up to date with every week. So thanks so
Love
much. Have a good evening.